Imagine going about your business on a black and white sunny day when all of a sudden an actual flying saucer appears in the sky and lands in front of you. Out comes the tallest robot you've ever seen, and an ultimatum for humanity. This is GORT, the famous robot from the 1951 movie The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is the robot we'll be building in LEGO today. That movie is nearly 75 years old. Do you think people even know who GORT is? Sadly, that movie's message is ever more relevant these days, Commander. And yeah, the cinematography is dated and the editing's not what we'd expect these days. It was a kinder, gentler time. Kinder and gentler at the height of the Cold War? That's saying something, eh? But come on. This is one of the most iconic robots in cinematic sci-fi history. How could it not be part of the Captain series?
This series is about recreating iconic robots.
The main issue here was the size, as it's essentially just a tall humanoid. In real life, GORT is portrayed by a freakishly tall actor in a suit. So, why not just add a few plates to a minifig's legs? The proportions wouldn't work, Mouse. It would look like one of those weird Toy Story minifigs. But yeah, making it human-shaped using bricks at that size while still making it interesting is the challenge of the day. So let's get started.
As usual, you can use the references we'll give you to find the right pieces you need over on Brinklink.
Starting with the feet, a stable base is always important, so I thought I'd use 1x2 round plates for those. And for the ankles, I'm using one of my favorite pieces, a round 1x1 plate with a bar on top. That piece also allows you to reverse the build direction, like you did with your Stargate. Right you are, McCluck, and they were also crucial for the part I chose for the legs. I could have used a round 1x1 brick for those, but those were too short and thick for GORT.
Oh, better save them for a different robot.
Instead, there's a recent piece which is actually pretty ideal for what I was looking for. Tall, thin, round legs. The candle piece, which first came out in white in 2018 and has since been released in a bunch of other colors, including light bluish grey.
That was a lucky find.
I then used hollow round 1x1 plates for the hips, which fit perfectly on the tip of those candle pieces, and then a 1x2 brick for the base of the torso. Just a box standard brick.
It's a chunky robot.
It also helps it blend in with the pieces that will come off top of it, and if you think about it, minifigs have pretty chunky torsos too, so we're remaining consistent here. So, on top of that brick are two 1x1 pieces with a stud on the side. That's to attach the arms? Exactly right, Mouse. We'll be using two additional 1x1 round piece with a bar on top for the shoulders, and connect to that a bar holder with clip, and for the forearms and hands, a 1L bar with claw. No elbow articulation? No, not for GORT. Plus, it makes the arms more in proportion with the body. Okay, let's focus on the head. Let's start with a standard 1x2 jumper plate, connect to it a regular head, and add a standard motorcycle helmet. Well, yeah, but what are you going to do for the visor? Oh, I had the worst problem for that. Would you believe not a single visor comes in grey? Nearly all of them are transparent in some way. So, we could go with a trans-clear one, but that's far from ideal. Well, if you were willing to bend one of your rules, you could spray paint it grey. Yes, that could work, although the aim of this series is to make all robots as replicable as possible. And many LEGO fans out there don't like the idea of painting or cutting or gluing pieces. So no, I won't do that. As a compromise, only one of these visors did come in an opaque color last year. It's black. It's not ideal, but it will have to do. You know, I get why you used a black head, because when GORT opened his visor, you see nothing but blackness. But what about the devastating laser light that comes out? Oh, you'd likely need a custom printed piece for that. Not necessarily. There's a robot head that was released for the LEGO movie sets back in 2015, which could work. Okay, it's indeed a robot head, and you gain a red eye of sorts, but the head itself is flat silver, which really doesn't match GORT's look. Well, you're going with a black visor, and that's not his look either. But that's because I don't have a choice. Okay, look, if we're going to delve into LEGO specialized printed heads, how about one that does come with a devastating red eye and is on a black head? A bit overly ornate though, don't you think? It's the best one I could find. It's either that really, Or the black head with no printing.
Well, at least you're giving our viewers options.
GORT in its LEGO form is a relatively simple build, but despite that, I think it looks pretty effective, even with the compromises we had to make. And as a bonus, it pretty much matches the height of its movie counterpart, which was the aim of the exercise. So there you have it. 21 pieces to turn GORT into a minifig scaled robot. Let us know what you think in the comments. Oh, help us get the funds for the forthcoming LEGO Star Trek set if you can.
And we really wish you would.
If you can afford it, of course. The link's in the description and pinned comment. And we'll speak to you again next time
On the Year of the Robots.